Lamed Bet. No, wrong one. Kaf Kuf Lamed. So if we go to the Pirush Ruhut and we see number 21 there, number Kaf Aleph, it's in the left column. It says he had talked about the concept of Shabbos being related to the concept of the fact that Bina, so to speak, as branches that run all the way through reality, and she calls them back. That's what sounds like it's a concept of Shabbos. He said, "A Shabbos hashrashis al makoram." So they come back to the Shabbos over here could mean returning, but here he says Lashon Shabbos. So let's look at number. Go down to the very bottom. See if we got enough. If we can see it good. So it says number Kaf Aleph. He says Rei Masha Kazat Khan Od Vizel Shono. The reason why they're all drawing back to her, who's sowed Hashavas. Hanimsoim el Shorsham. But I guess he means Hashavas and Nimsoim, that those things that are coming back are going back to the root. But they ain't Hamsasam Bishlemos, because what you find there is not complete, I guess. Behem Garuim, and therefore they're inferior, or they're incomplete. Below Nimsa Kehilchosem, and we don't find them. That is the things that are created. He's talking about creation, I think, here. He said, we don't see them constructed in the way they're supposed to be. The spheres alyonis, shame is orders of a betzius ahavayos. So let's go through the words. So because there was not the spheres alyonis, so the upper spheres, I guess it means olam etzilus. Shum his orders, there was no arousal by them, but betzius ahavayos with that aroused, I think, the reality of their havayos, which I think he means havayos and the meloyim. So all of it remains simply up in the Chesed Elyon and Hapashut with the simple Chesed Elyon. And they would give, and he gave quote to the Chavayos, and they spread. So these Chavayos start to spread. So when you see that there are Havayos in all of these different places, so let me read this again. I'm trying to understand all the things he's saying. From Amnon, Hashem nimso ha'abayos meketzer al yonim v'adnekuda tachtoina. So now you say they're Havayas. That's what I translated. He has Havayas everywhere. But even so, they're not in the secret of what we call the Habatas Panim Tachtoini Bepanim Alyani. They're not looking at each other. In other words, they're not Panim Bepanim. This is a little convoluted, this language, because he says the first thing that he said, which I could fit into this, he said everything was buttoned up, so to speak, in the Chesed Elyon, and that really the Chesed Elyon produces these Havayos, but nothing is happening. That's where I'm understanding it, because there's no his orvis. Let's see the last point. Oh, you saw the bat is panim betanim betanim beyanim with nation and the tachnish orach no Elyon, because you need the tefillah from the bottom to be able to arouse the upper part. Because the olam al sad acharayim nimso. So then the whole universe is always back to back. So therefore, he says in this world, all of the Havayas, because he just said that the Havayas are everywhere, they spread everywhere. He said, but the actual extension of the Havayas is not correct. All Havayas chaseros are all missing something, a begumus and flawed. Because so now what this means, I don't know either. As you use the Havayas, shis alfi shinin avoidazu. So apparently, working with these broken Havayas is really what he's trying to say. That's what we're doing. The Havayas are not complete, and you do this for 6,000 years. The Neshamos yordos V'ovdos v'koshros umiyachtim panim apanim. And what's happening as a result of this avoda, which I guess is coming from the place of the broken avayos, which I guess is all the brokenness we have around us. But the neshamas, he says this causes, though, over the course of 6,000 years, is my understanding. The neshamas yordos v'ovros v'koshros umiyachtos panim apanim. This happens that there are yichudim made the truvas hadavarim el shorshim, because this it causes a return of these things to their root. So hine ya'alu kol habayos bekushatos, and now the vayos are all going back, all adorned, because mini kishutim shekash dor betachtoinet v'hizpalim. So he says when they come back, they're loaded up with all kinds of diamonds and jewels, all kinds of what's the right word? Of ornaments, of beautiful ornaments, which are a result of the prayers of the Jewish people, the Mekayim mitzvahs, and the people that are doing mitzvahs, aim and neshamas gedushas, and these people are doing these are the neshamas gedushas. They're the neshama. They're bringing panemius in, which is neshama, in a kedushadik way. So if you want to talk about bringing down Shefa, making everything possible, there is no his order this greater than this. Because what she does, now he uses it in the feminine, I think. She brings her parts back to herself. So when you're praying, he's telling me, when you're praying and you're learning, you're actually dealing with parts of Bina, parts that have to come back to her. And then what happens is all of those parts, as a result of the prayers, etc., they become besukkah and mekushit. And the shamas mistalkos mamish. And you'll see that the neshamas at that part will go up mamish, really mamish. Ka'ain siluk on the neshamas, like we said, something like the lifting up or the moving up of the neshamas, shehem neksharos nefech, which are all tied together. Let's say it's a common thing. He says, understand that when you say the word neshamas, you're talking about the nefesh ruach. They start combining the ruach but neshama ka'omro. So the seventh one, that's I think the double lotion of sweetness. Isn't that sweeter than honey, something like that?
Pure.
So, huh?
Pure, right? Like bright and pure, shining.
That sach is pure.
Yeah.
But it had double lotion, saksachos. Okay, I got that wrong. Okay, so anyway, huh?
Not about sweet, it's like bright and pure, that kind of thing.
Okay, so let's go. V'hashvi b'tzachtzchos nafshecha is with the real purity of your soul. He's going to say a little drush on it. Okay, I'm sorry?
Oh, maybe there's a drush, but the word is hispia.
The word is what?
The pasuk is hispia with a sin, hispia.
V'hus bia. I think that's not a kubutz. Oh, the his bia. But tzachtzchos, so he say it himself, but tzachtzchos nafshecha. So let's see what it means. Tzachad tzachtzchot train. What does that mean? V'hainu omro. This is what we say. V'hoise nefesh adoni tzrura b'tzura chaim. So this is that the binding of light. Let me read it again. Nefesh Adoni Tzura B'Tzura HaChaim Es Hashem Elokecha Lomala. Al derek zeh. So in the same way as being bound. So he says, Nefesh Adoni Tzura B'Tzura HaChaim Es Hashem Elokecha Lomala. So he's bound up to that name. Al derek zeh Yukshur HaHavayus Asiya nefesh b'yitzira. So let's go nefesh. Asiya nefesh. So this is what you see, is that the worlds become bound up like this too. Asiya, which is nefesh, is on top of b'yitzira ruach. V'yitzira v'ruach v'b'riya neshama. V'kulam b'chatzilus. And all of them are in olam atzilus. V'kulam b'sod aliyasim ala chochma. And all of them are on the way upwards. Upwards to where? To chochma. This is a place where the bira takes place. B'sod hiyosim misached b'chochma, with the concept that they become one with chochma. The Hainu sod Yovel hu kodesh tihye lechem. So he said Yovel hu kodesh. That's what you will have. So he says in the Shamos besod Eden Shabbos Vadai. So Eden is lashon chochma. So he said the Neshamas besod Eden Shabbos Vadai. Not sure I could put that together. But Eden Shabbos is Eden within Shabbos, which is Bina. That's the case. Everything goes back to Chochmah. Chochmah is inside of Bina. V'az Malchus nimseres the Melech. And this is the time when the Malchus is given over to the king. V'hamelech bebeten iman. Where's the king? The king is in the womb of his mother, which we said before in another place. We saw earlier today that womb is the place of the Yesod. V'ha'av hu mis'ora l'mal. Then the father, he is aroused up above. So Kasher his order with the secret of the tie or the binding of this awakeness. So everything gets bound together is what he's saying. Hayesh to call his order this Yafa v'nechmad b'zeh. So is there a better service? He says.
Have a good day.
You too. Go to.